Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, my students, in your lesson in JavaScript. Last practical assignment, we talk about the functions and how to create a function and return a value, how to get the user input using the window prompt, and we display the result in a console.log statement. Today, inshallah, our lesson about anonymous functions, self-invoking. Okay, at first, when assigning a function to a variable, yeah, I can assign a function to a variable like this. For example, variable total, let total equal function get numbers n1 and n2 and complete the function like the last practical assignment. Okay, now when you're assigning a function to a variable, a function name can be omitted as a function can called in a statement specifying the variable name and the parenthesis operator. For example here, to call this function. Now I call this function by its name and see the result. Here, refresh. For example, the first number 12, second number 12 also, then press enter. Here is error. That is the error here. He can't find get numbers function because I assign function to the total variable. So I can write total here instead of the function name like this. Control C, Control V. Okay, now I can run my code again. Here, console, yes, refresh. First number, second number, now I get the total. So if I assign my function to the variable, I have to call this function get numbers, but in a specifying calling using what? Using the total variable, the total. And I can pass a parameter. I can pass a parameter. Self-invoking. Self-invoking. The same code, but we edit this code now. Number one, assign function to the variable. Number two, self-invoking. In fact, I can make self-invoking to the function. For example, here, I'll add for example another file like this, self, okay, .js. And now we will invoke or make self-invoking for a function. For example, here, function and write get name, okay, between parentheses, okay. Now I can write x equal, for example, Muhammad, okay. Then here, console.log hello and x, for example, here. And to call this function, we make like this. Control V and parentheses and semicolon. It's a regular thing, okay? At first, make the link between the HTML code and JavaScript and right here self, yeah. Run the page now. Refresh. Hello, Muhammad. It's okay now, okay? Instead of this way, I can make self-invoking. Self-invoking. How to make self-invoking? Make like this. Open parentheses before the function name and close the parentheses like this. Then add two parentheses, open and close now. Then semicolon. Now I can call my function without this name. Self-invoking. Declare a function or create a function and invoke or calling the function in the same time, like this. Hello, Muhammad. Okay, that is a self-invoking. Okay, now back to our code in h.js. Now we want to make a self-invoking in this function. How? That is a total, for example, here. Take care because we face error now. Okay, function and open parentheses like we made before. That is the next parentheses here. Add open and close parentheses now. Then call the function. Okay, now the calling function will save in a total variable. But what about in1 and in2? Okay, try now. Try. Now back to the HTML code, and instead of self.js, we will go to h.js, our code now. Okay, here h alt p and see the result again. 12 is the first number, second number 12. See the result here. Sorry, again. We have more pages here. Again, run the code, refresh. 12, 12. Okay, here's an error here. The first number here is 12. Second number here also is 12. But what about the result? Total and passing parameter x and y. No, I have to remove x and y now because it is self-invoking. I can't passing parameter here. Okay, now to solve this problem, now I remove the parameter n1 and n2. What about the parameter now? There is nothing. 12, 12. Nothing. The result is nothing because the parameter here nothing and into nothing. Okay, I have to assign parameter to a value like this. Into or n1 equal the first number x or the first variable x. Okay. Second thing, into equal y. Okay. Now we convert in 1 and into and return z and self-invoking after we close the parentheses of the function. Okay, now return this value to the total. Return this value to the total directly without passing parameter in the display statement console.log. Okay, now run the code and see the result. That is the last result, nothing. Now refresh, add the first number 12, second number and press enter. Yeah, that's right now. 12 and 12 equal 24. Now we know how to assign function to the variable, how to assign function to a variable, okay? And we know also how to call this variable to execute the function or get the self-invoking of this function if I made self-invoking for the function. Return z here will save in a total variable and will display in a display statement console.log statement. Okay, now we have finished. Wait the practical assignment 2 in the next video.